You're one of those people I feel like you probably can't go anywhere because everyone loves you.
Well, that's generous. My siblings would have something to say about that.
They don't count. They don't count. It's true. Everyone I know loves you, and they're all from different walks of life, different worlds, culturally. You're just one of those people.
You know,
Yeah.
our global taste has fallen precipitously.
No, I love you so much. Congrats on the new show.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
me. I love being on your show.
We obviously love having you here. I don't know how many times you've been here. We love you.
Since Megan and I single-handedly got you voted to win American Idol.
Megan told me.
It was before texting. You had to call a number
Dial,
and
yeah.
to vote for you, and Justin did not get one vote. And we voted for you over 3 million times.
You changed my life, and you know I love both you and
You know
your
what?
wife.
It paid off.
It
you
did.
know?
I'm doing all right.
We made a bet on you, and it paid off.
Okay. Any other bets you made? We need to discuss it, see if anything paid off. No, tell everybody, we actually had Elle on talking about the show, so tell everybody about Margo's Money Troubles.
I mean, look, David E. Kelly and Eva Anderson wrote it off of an incredible novel by Rufy Thorpe. Elle Fanning, who's already the greatest young actress of our day,
Love her.
from The Great and from her Sentimental Value, she just had an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
She somehow takes it up like 3 notches. She's gonna blow you away in this show. And Michelle Pfeiffer is this up-and-comer.
Yeah, just so many unknowns involved. Yeah.
She is, she's unlike anything we've ever seen. She's super funny.
Yeah.
And she and I play the parents of Elle Fanning.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you a second to do the arithmetic.
No, but you're a pro wrestler.
I'm a former pro
Yes,
wrestler named
yeah.
Jinx.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Like the entire team, the writing was so good.
The beard game? Oh,
Thank you.
where did it go?
I come by it honest.
Yes, yeah.
Megan, you know, when we're in our domestic time together, which is daytime talk, she says that it's like a mouthful of thistles and that it can be very abrasive.
Okay.
So if I'm clean shaven, it means I don't have an acting job right now. But
Okay.
But I am getting.
But you're getting to
some.
make out. Yeah, there you go. So wait, I heard that you made up a wrestling move for this, right? Is it because your name is Jinx?
Yeah. Our wonderful director, Dearvilla Walsh, called me one day as they were just prepping the show, and they said, "What is Jinx's move that he does?" And then all the fans do it back to him.
Yeah.
So I stood up and shot a quick video because I was like, well, Jinx would jinx you.
Yeah.
He would
Yeah.
cast his glamour upon you, and then while you were dazed, he would kick your ass.
Yeah.
And so Jinx's move is just that he jinxes the audience. So
Which is actually amazing to see this big tough guy go. But your character, I do love your character. Kind of wasn't around a lot and is now trying to step up. That's where.
Yeah. He's made some bad choices in life. Michelle's character Cheyenne and our daughter Margo are sort of a second family. I have my first family back in Jersey, a wife and 3 kids. So out on the road, this is the product of a fling. And so I haven't been good at all to this family unit.
Yeah.
The other family unit throws me in the garbage finally, wisely. And so I say, finally, after all these years, I'm here. Now you can count on me, now that you're 20.
Good timing.
But I mean, he has his own demons, and so it's such. The 2 main protagonists are Michelle and Elle, and they're both these plucky single moms that are super messy. I'm a total mess, and we're just these real humans trying to make a go to support this new baby boy.
Yeah.
And it's just
beautiful.
It's a really beautiful real life story.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do a few commercials with help from someone in our audience. Damn.
Hi, Kelly and Nick. I'm Rex Lawless, known in the wrestling world as Pectoral Poseidon. Nick, your character Jinx in Margo's Got Money Trouble may be retired, but I'm the current Victory Pro Wrestling New York State champion.
All right.
Like Ron Swanson. Yeah. I'm a 6'2", 250-pound, meat-eating. Kelly and Nick have more for you after the commercial break, so stay tuned.
You're also back on stage this summer as well, right? We were just talking about you and your wife are doing a musical.
That's right. My wife, the illustrious Megan Mullally.
Yeah.
Will be the star of this new musical called Ice Boy at the Goodman Theater in Chicago.
Yeah.
Which we're so excited about. She's been workshopping it for years. It's a super funny, stupid, beautiful new comedy.
Yeah.
Like
I love all those adjectives.
It's from the writers of Urinetown and Spelling Bee.
Yeah.
It's super funny. The music is so great, and I love nothing more. I have a supporting role. I'm kind of the narrator. Than watching Megan Mullally. She has this Ethel Merman switch that, or like a.
Yeah.
Like,
I love you guys so much. I'm not even kidding. There are two couples I mention in Hollywood. There are two couples in Hollywood I always mention, and it's you two and Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. There's something about y'all, all four of you, that is just so cool. And like, it's a really hard thing to have a relationship with somebody else that's in the industry, like with ego involved and everything. Y'all are always so supportive, and I just love y'all.
Well, thank you.
Yes. There's no question. I'm just love y'all.
We're very lucky.
Yeah. So, okay, so y'all are doing this in Chicago, and you actually spend a lot of time in Chicago. What's your favorite thing about being back there?
Oh, gosh. I mean...
It's cold, hey.
It is cold, and that's one of my favorite things. Like, I love the weather. I love... In Illinois, one of the reasons we're tough and we have a great work ethic is because we live in the weather. You know, you have to have the right gear. Living there in the 90s, cutting my teeth with my theater company, the Defiant Theater, and, like, working in pro theater... I didn't actually have time to enjoy Chicago much because it was just 24/7 theater.
Yeah.
But it's the best theater town in the country. So my favorite thing was actually the CTA, taking the L train. Because as a broke actor, you would get, for $30, you'd get your Metro card, and you rule the city for $30 a month. And it was like traveling, I don't know, I grew up in a little town, so taking the train in the big city of Chicago was like commuting by Ferris wheel, where you were like, done with work, now I get to take a ride. and take in the people in the city and stop and get
as many times as I want.
I do, yeah. You can ride all the way down.
Yeah.
I
do love Chicago. Great restaurants, great shows, you're right, yeah.
It's an incredible place to gain weight.
So is Texas. So you've thrown out the first pitch at some Chicago Cub games. Like,
that's right.
Or Cubs games, sorry. What do you love about that? We're gonna show, you've thrown out several times.
I mean...
I love how it goes from like Santa Claus beard to like, no, and then to like nothing at all. You look like a cop in the last one with your stash.
a cop who's getting kissed a little bit more than the other two. Those other two homeless guys.
That has to be nerve-wracking. All those people watching, that would make me nervous.
It is. It's crazy to be in a baseball stadium with about 40,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, has an element of reverence. Like I grew up like this is, you know, where my team, the Cubs, play.
Yeah.
And you go out on the field. The first time I did this whole bit, I took my dad out with me, who was my teacher and my coach, and like it was so cool to do it with my dad.
Yeah.
And we did a bit where I lined up on the pitching mound and faced directly to center field, the wrong direction, and came to set like I was about to pitch. And my dad was like, no, other way. And it went great, and 17 people died laughing. And then I turned around, and I realized that I'd put all my focus on the bit, and then I was like, oh, now I have to throw the baseball to that guy way over there.
The adrenaline goes away,
But it worked out.
Have you ever messed it up? Has it gone like way short?
That one, it barely bounced. It was not a bad pitch.
Okay.
But I was excoriated by the fans. They take it very seriously.
That's a new word for me, Pee Wee Herman. I have never heard that word. You're so smart.
They powerfully criticized me with foul language.
Thank you. You broke it down to where I can understand. Like a book for dummies. Nick is not only an actor, but an incredible storyteller. In fact, we keep a copy of one of his books on set at all times. That's not a lie. He came here and I was like, I'm gonna have this on my set every time we do a show. Not a liar. In honor, I just love you.
Did I do that right?
In honor, yeah, I don't know. I'm older too, I don't know. Vogue. Jinx. In honor of the great stories in Nick's books, it's time for one from his early years. This is Epic Storytime. Epic Storytime. is, and you're welcome for this song, how it works is I'll get one question, then Nick will tell a story with the help of illustrations from the children's book he's holding. So Nick, did you ever do anything really dumb as a teenager?
Why, yes, Kelly, one thing. Did one dumb
Just
thing.
one.
Yeah, when I was all of 19, my friends and I had a favorite running joke: shoplifting stupid items. It was hilarious. After all, what could be more fun than pointless petty larceny, right? Fracking, maybe? One day, we went to a local department store so my buddy Joe could purchase a microwave for his girlfriend for Christmas. He paid, and as we sauntered out, the security man stopped us. He said, "Excuse me, can I talk to you?" Yeah, I replied. He asked to examine the front of my jeans, and sure enough, there he found not 4, not 5, not even 6, but 8 Ronnie Milsap cassettes. Please let us pause to calm your exploding heart rate.
Yes, yes.
All good?
Yeah.
To resume, 8 disparate albums from country legend Ronnie Milsap on cassette. I had apparently shoved them into the front of my jeans directly in front of a 2-way security mirrored window. The guard's chair behind the mirror was about 14 feet from the display of country greats on sale. I explained that it was actually just a hilarious joke. The guard told me that if I could pay for the tapes, which cost about $17, he'd let me go. $17 I did not have. He said he was sorry then, but he'd have to call the police. I stoically said, "Well, that's your call, buddy, but I won the game." So, puzzled at my bravado, he did in fact call the cops. The cops came and I was taken into the station and booked straight up at around 11 a.m. Now, I was at this moment only mildly worried. You see, that evening I was set to appear in the opening night performance of the play Picnic. But surely, I thought, my friends will jar me out of my internment with time to spare. And sure enough, my friend Goliath, alerted by Joe, showed up with my bail, which was about $250. Good man. I was set to get off easy, but it was here, right at this damn point, that I made my second biggest mistake of the afternoon when I spoke the following to the fine officers processing me. "Gentlemen, I'm truly sorry that I committed this grave error. I am a jackass of the first order. And now, if you wouldn't mind hustling my paperwork along, expediting it, as they say, for you see, I am a student of the theater. And tonight is the opening of my play, Picnic, on the main stage at the Krannert Center for the Performing Arts. My call time is 6:30 for an 8 p.m. show. It's 5 o'clock now, so thanks for the hustle." The officers looked at one another and said to me, "Opening night? Oh, well, don't you worry, we'll take care of it. We love the arts around here." Amazing. I sighed my relief as they locked me up. From my humble holding cell, I could see the officers through a large window as I awaited my imminent release. 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m. Curious. The officers seemed pretty calm, immobile, really. The clock was ticking. 6:15. Oh, my Lord. 6:30. Holy balls. 7 o'clock. I banged on the window to communicate that I was little green apples in there. I saw their game, I comprehended the bit, but if I missed this play, I'd surely be expelled from my institution of education. I began to think about where I'd go from here, a hardened criminal with a record. I suppose I'd go back to framing houses in Manuka, my hometown. My sweet parents, the most decent people I'd ever come across, were about to be handed back this steaming pile of a son. It was 7:38 when the fuzz finally roused themselves to emancipate your pudding-headed author. Goliath violated some speeding limits driving to the stage door. I sprinted into the dressing room, slapped on some makeup, and threw on my loafers and yellow cardigan. And before I knew it, I was clumsily blubbering through my crying scene in Act 2. Most definitely the best crying scene I've ever delivered. The final chapter saw me called in front of a court of kindly and august senior citizens who I dare say saw me for what I was, a harmless dumbass. I was shown a list of departments to choose from for my 100 hours of community service, and I went with animal control. With no exaggeration whatsoever, I can report that I spent a few weekends helping sorority girls look at puppies at the Humane Society, confirming my absolute reputation as an ass. Now, friends, what can we take away from this cautionary tale? I do think it's important to behave rebelliously when striking out on one's own, but I would suggest coming up just short of breaking the law. If you are going to burglarize a retail establishment, for sake, case the joint ahead of time. Also, don't ever underestimate the value of Ronnie Millsap.
I love that it's Ronnie Millsap. Give it up for Nick Offerman, y'all. More stories like that by any of Nick's books, including Paddle Your Own Canoe and Where the Deer and the Antelope Play. And thanks to Jason Kirshner from our art department for those illustrations. He's incredible.